everyone. Welcome to the Glow Podcast. I am here today with two very exciting guests. I have Kristy and Chaz from Onus IV in Colorado, and I'm super excited to talk to them. But before we get started, if you are new here, we are Tailored Marketing, and we partner with organizations in the health, wellness, and longevity space to fuel growth through strategic marketing and sales strategies. So if you are interested, drop a comment below. Kristy and Chaz, thank you so much for coming on. I'm super excited to have you guys here. If you would, I would love if you would just go ahead and give a little bit of an introduction so the audience knows who you are.
Yeah, sure. I can start. So I'm Kristy Anderson. I am one of the co-founders here with my husband Chaz of Onus IV Therapy and Longevity. Our third founding partner is Dr. Benjamin Wilkes, who is a board-certified ER doctor. And the three of us founded Onus in 2015 with the idea of proactive health and wellness. We didn't see anything like it here in Colorado, and we were excited to be amongst the first in the IV therapy world and have since expanded it into other areas as well.
Awesome.
Chaz Fullhaber, co-founder and chief marketing officer, and same thing, obviously. Who started the brand together. I obviously saw an opportunity from a branding perspective because usually when you're talking medical, you're talking a lot of whites, a lot of blues, and people in lab coats, and not really the most homey kind of vibe. So there was a branding and marketing opportunity there.
Yeah, no, that's super, super fun. And I got to see a little bit of one of the therapy clinics with Chaz during our first call, and it was so cool. It's like a cabin vibe and just looks so fun. It looks like somewhere where you would actually just want to go hang out, not even
That's the point. We want you to feel like you can hang out and it's not doctor office feeling.
Yeah.
But we want it to be inspirational too. We live here in Colorado, and one of our hashtags is your best days. We want you to get out there and enjoy our beautiful world. And so our lounges are inspired by nature.
Yeah, no, that's super awesome. And so I know you said that you started it in 2015. So what kind of brought on this idea? I feel like a lot of places, the founding story is always okay, I had this experience, and so this kind of led to this idea. And so can you tell us kind of a little bit more about that aha moment?
I mean, it kind of always starts with a mountain bike.
Well, it did. I first heard about it from a friend who was starting one in San Diego, and she told me about her idea of having an IV therapy bus that she would take around San Diego. And I looked into it, and I saw that there wasn't anything
You said you sat up in your bed.
I did. I literally was laying on the couch talking to her, and I sat up. I was like, this is such a great idea. We need this in Colorado.
Yeah.
I was, would you be offended if I looked into this? She's like, no, go for it. And so I looked into it, and I thought, sure, this is already starting to be a thing in places like Las Vegas and Miami, more for the partying crowd. But in Colorado, we are, very athletic and, outdoorsy. And I thought, with the altitude and everything and all the people that travel here to ski and climb mountains, what a great thing to have from a proactive wellness standpoint. And to Chaz's point, going back to the mountain bike, we're avid mountain bikers, as is Dr. Ben. So our way of litmus testing it is, we went to a mountain bike race in in Arizona, did a 3-day mountain bike festival in Sedona, dehydrated ourselves, rode hard all day long, and then went to Scottsdale at one of the first IV clinics, tried it out ourselves. That was our aha moment. Mm-hmm. It was this works. I feel great. I could ride my bike again.
Looking out the window at the mountain, being like, I could go back. Instead of being like, I hate my bike, I hate myself, I hate Arizona. Yeah, no.
That's so cool. And I guess what was the most noticeable difference for you? Was it dehydration, muscle soreness, or inflammation even? Did it help with kind of all of these things that you're feeling after a 3-day mountain bike
extravaganza?
Yes. I'm like, what do you even call that? It's not a race.
Yeah, it wasn't a race. It was a festival.
It's absolutely a festival. It felt like a hack to me.
Yeah, hack. Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
I'm like, okay, so I did this. Usually I come back, I am a lazy employee because I am literally baked from riding my bike in the sun. I am sunburned. And I remember driving back to Colorado, looking through our phone on Google, there's no one doing this. Literally no one is doing this in Colorado. We should do this purely for ourselves, even if it was just the thing we did after mountain bike races.
Obviously, yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's a hack. For me, symptom-wise, it's about having energy again and feeling like I can focus. you know, if you do something like that and the next day you're really dragging your energy and your focus is down, and that could be the B vitamins too, just depletion there in addition to the hydration, but getting that boost of B12, B complex,
and magnesium,
and calcium to help with the muscle recovery and reduce that glutathione for inflammation. All those things come into play, and it just gives you that feeling like you're bounced back and energetic again.
Yeah, no, that's super, super cool. That's awesome. And so what all kind of IV therapies do you all offer at Onus, and like what are some of the most popular ones that people really keep coming back for?
Go ahead, you start this one.
I mean, the one that kind of started it all was called the A-Team, and that's, you know, amino acids, calcium, magnesium, and B vitamins. That was just purely something we wanted after mountain bike races, and it works pretty well for its intent. But easily the most popular one is the Phoenix. It started off as a hangover drip, but people kind of realized it's got some glutathione, it's got B vitamins, it's got magnesium, it's a full liter of saline as well, and it really turned into that like everything for anyone kind of drip, you know, like our Big Mac, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone can get behind one and feel great. So it's really fun to sell it to people because it's like, I know you're going to feel good if you definitely get this. So I'm going to talk about that, you know?
Yeah, I remember getting a Phoenix once after the flu, and I felt really great after that. So it's applicable for many things.
That's awesome. And since, like you said, when you first started it in 2015, there really wasn't anything like it in Colorado. And so, like, what kind of response did you all get from the community, especially in a community where, like you said, so many people are skiing, hiking, mountain biking, all of these outdoorsy activities? And I feel like there's so many people there that need that, you know?
I mean, I remember a lot of the customers who were coming in were already looking for this.
Yeah.
Like the, you know, client of ours who was doing jujitsu and he got kicked in the ribs and he was like, I need something to like help my body recover. Or, you know, some of our mountain biking friends would try it before. Like 2 guys went and got IV drips before they flew to Chile and did the Inca avalanche, you know, and rode their bikes down a volcano. It's like it really did take off, but in that regard, some people looked at us like we had a third eyeball, you know?
Yeah, it was a mixed response.
Yeah.
I would say that yes, we had the people that got it, that thought this is great, and then there were the people that are like very skeptical, like, you could do this outside of an emergency room. And it's interesting because here we are 10 years later and IV therapy is everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's very commonplace now. There's many to choose from here in Colorado. So I'd say, you know, in the beginning it was very, there's a lot of skepticism, but now it's very mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I feel like 10 years ago, people were a little bit more skeptical. Like, people kind of got it, but not completely yet. They're like, okay, but shouldn't I be doing this with, like, a doctor? Or, like, you know, that kind of thing. But now it is such commonplace that people are just almost, like, used to it. And, like, even during COVID, I feel like that was kind of, like, a big switch in people like looking at health and wellness. Like they're like, okay, like what other things are out there kind of, because like what we need to stay healthy. Like we don't need to just be reactive when something happens, but we actually want to live like a healthy lifestyle. So did you all kind of see that shift as well within your practice?
Yeah, COVID, for all, you know, for all the bad things that came out of it, it did have, I think, a silver lining in that people started to get serious about being proactive about their health. And I think it did have that shift that people, even younger people that are healthy, are starting to think ahead 10, 20, 30 years. What's my life going to look like? What kind of shape am I going to be in? Am I going to be able to enjoy my life? Looking at not just lifespan, but also their health span. And so I think that COVID in some degree, you know, lit a fire under people. And what's interesting is I think that now, 10 years on, we've expanded our service lines into peptides and hormone health, and we're kind of back in 2015 mindset. With like people are like, I've heard of Ozempic, but what about these other peptides? And you know, NAD, and we offer that as well. So I think it's interesting to see the evolution, and when you're always trying to be on the forefront of what people are thinking about, you're always going to be met with some skepticism.
The nice thing, though, when we were thinking about how we wanted this brand to live, we chose the name Onus exactly for what you mentioned, the reactive part of when people make healthcare decisions like oh yeah, I'm hungover, so I need an IV. No, that's not how we want to look at it. It's literally, if you want a longer health span so you can enjoy your time here, however long that is, you got to be proactive about it, you know. And our new services don't fall out of line with that brand. You know, it's not pigeonholed to one area of where we want to be. We could literally, who knows what we're going to sell next. As long as it's the aspirational side of onus, you know, putting the onus on you to take care of yourself, yeah, the products will, and the services will follow.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's taking ownership of your health and really like longevity. And longevity just isn't about just quantity, but it's about your quality of life. And that's really, I feel like, what the different services that you all offer is all about, is improving the quality of life for the individuals who are coming in and helping them get back on their mountain bike the next day if they want to, or you can go skiing for 2 weeks straight, you know?
Yeah. Or even just chasing your toddler around.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you have to be active for, or, you know, want to feel energy for, we're here to support it.
I mean, we did have a client say he started playing tennis again because he started, you know, coming to our stores. So that's pretty cool to hear that someone literally got back outside and started being active again.
Yeah, that was one of our peptide clients.
Yeah,
lately.
it's really rewarding to hear.
Yeah, no, that's super awesome. I'm sure that you guys have probably so many different stories of like, okay, this person like can now do this again, or they're able to do this in this amount. And so besides like the client getting out there and playing tennis, is there any other kind of stories like that come to mind?
Man, yeah, I mean, pick a product.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, we have to speak anecdotally. We're not doing clinical trials.
Right.
But we, you know, when we first launched NAD back during COVID times, it was I think 2020, we had a client who had a terrible motorcycle burn on their legs, and they thought they were going to have to get a skin graft, and they're like, well, let's try these NAD, and they did not need the skin graft, and if NAD was the factor, but it was like the one variable they thought that they changed in what they were doing in their recovery. And then we've also had people say like their shoulder injury feels less noticeable because they did NAD. So the stories like that go on and on. Yeah.
We have a video of a personal trainer named Brad who did a testimonial for us where he was like, you know, I injured my shoulder dirt biking. I hadn't been able to lift past here. And then he literally shows you in the video where he pushes past that with a weighted bar. And he's like, this is after one treatment, you know, it's insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can get yourself back a little bit. And that's kind of what Your Best Days is all about, which is our hashtag.
Yeah, no, that's super, super cool. And I know y'all have had a lot of growth since 2015. You started obviously with just one location and now have how many?
7. So
7.
we actually started in a van. Not starting even with a location. We were very low overhead.
Do not have that money.
No, very low budget. We had a Sprinter van that we built out. We called her Large Marge. She was large and in charge. And
awesome.
we rolled her around to, you know, Boulder Ironman and Leadville and Colfax Marathon and tried to get the good word out. And then we did land a brick and mortar that fall of 2015 in Denver Sports Recovery. They were kind enough to believe in us and give us our first little alcove space that we leased from them. So yes, it has grown exponentially since then. We have 6 corporate locations, and then our first franchise location in Fort Collins launched this spring. So super excited about that.
That's super, super awesome. And I'm sure with all of that growth over 10 years, I'm sure that has taken a lot of effort and so much excitement as well. And so what kind of are y'all's plans for growth? And like, where do you kind of see Onus headed over the next year, 2 years? I'm sure y'all have probably plans further along too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, where do you see it?
Well, my main focus right now is on our new services because we're really branching out into some new arenas for us that require different business models. You know, seeing a nurse practitioner with both peptides and hormones, we're building out that model right now with a few strategic corporate locations. And I think once we get that really dialed in, we can then go back to location growth. So right now we're really just building growth through new services.
Yeah.
And then I do see us re-expanding into the location growth next year once these new services are fully fleshed out.
Yeah.
They're going really well in the pilots and the launches, so it's exciting to see. And so I imagine next year we'll be looking at more of out-of-state locations as well.
Awesome.
I don't really see anything much different other than potentially some sort of sub-brand product that fits in nicely that ties all of these services together. To me, that's kind of like, if you woke up and you're like, I really do want to stick around longer, I want to see what this place is like, you know? You're going to go check out Onus and you're going to walk away with a better sense of yourself than you walked in, with a plan of what's going to happen, which I think is going to be pretty cool. Obviously don't want to talk about it too much, but I could see it really being something where you're like, you know what, I spend money on flat screen TVs and a Ford Raptor, and this isn't bringing me joy. What if I found something where I was continuously getting feedback about how my body is doing? You know, I think that's the new version of wealth in the future. I remember this one 59-year-old client. I was like, how's your day going? And he like pulled out his phone and wants to show me his blood panel. And it's like, okay, like he just doesn't stop talking for 20 minutes. He's clearly excited. And I think that's the real light bulb moment for me. It's learning more about your body and where it's at, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I mean, people are like obsessed with their Garmins and Apple Watches and like all of that stuff. Like when, yeah, exactly. Like when you set like a goal on like your Garmin and it's telling you like, oh, okay, like you've come this close to reaching your goal, or, you know, whatever. Like people, like, I know I get so excited about that. Or like if you're wearing a Whoop and it tells you like, oh, your sleep score increased by this much, like you get excited by it.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah. So I totally can like relate to that with like, you do get excited about these different health things, especially when you're like really focused on it, you know, and you're like wanting to improve that part of your life. It becomes like a reward system, like anything else, where you're like getting this positive feedback and you're excited about it, you know?
Absolutely. Self-perpetuating behavior. You know, one good decision leads to another, and that's part of what we're trying to create here at Onus is, you know, helping you make great decisions and be inspired by how you feel and what you can do and how you can go move through your day so that you continue to make those great decisions in your life.
Yeah, I've seen that with customers as well, where I asked the guy one day, I was like, what are you going to do after this? He's like, well, now that I'm doing something healthy, I think I should go for a walk or something, you know? And it's like, it's just, it's cool because it really is compounding. You make one healthy choice, you're probably going to keep that going.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I notice it too. Like if I'm like really into going to the gym, like I'm more likely to eat healthy, you know, that's just like a thing, because you're like, okay, I don't want to like go eat like a Big Mac now after I just went to the gym, or like, you know, like I don't want to drink after I've been like working out all week, you know. Or even like if you have like a big hike the next day, it's like, okay, I want to like eat healthy to fuel my body type of thing. So it's
Put my
just
phone down at 8 o'clock so I can actually sleep, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's so many different kind of aspects to health. And I guess the last question I would love to ask y'all, like besides kind of adding IV therapy in for clients that y'all have, like is there, even like for people sitting at home, are there any like little tips kind of you have for taking better ownership for your health and really just living a healthier and more long and full of quality life?
You go first.
Well, I was going to say,
I gotta think about this one now.
well, there are a few things that, like, as we've grown with the company, because of the services, because they were new and we were learning about it, I mean, I learned that coffee isn't always the best thing in the morning, and that sometimes electrolytes are better for you, depending on, you know, your activity. And so that was news to me. We sell our own electrolytes, so that was obviously like a +1 for us. But no, it's like a good place to start. I waffle like this all the time, where I'm like, you know, I really don't like what I'm doing right now. You know, it's been a long summer. I really want to get back to feeling really good each day. And usually it does take that reactive side for a minute to get proactive. So I guess, I don't know, don't feel bad.
Give yourself some grace.
Give yourself some grace.
Give yourself some grace. Because I think that's baby steps. I guess for me, the one piece of advice I would give people, and I try to practice this myself. I mean, one of the biggest predictors of longevity is your connection to other people. Yeah. And I think if you can reach out to one person that maybe you haven't talked to in a while that you miss, and just say hi, whether it's a text or a phone call, or maybe do something kind for a stranger in a day. I think that it really comes down to relationships. I'm really grateful for with Onus is the relationships we've built with our fellow owners, our longtime employees that have been with us the full 10 years, to the customers that have been with us, some of whom have become owners or investors. And it isn't just about the business, it moves beyond that. The business is just how we met. And beyond that, we've become friends and meaningful in each other's lives. And try to find connection, whether it's through volunteering or work or whatever it is. But I think that's the most important thing in life.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. And like at Onus even, like you guys are creating such a positive community of people who, you know, want to live healthier lives and are committed to that and taking ownership. And so it's really, really cool to see from like something like IV therapy, a whole community of people who are kind of like-minded coming together as well. Because I completely agree with you. I feel like community is so, so important in our long-term health and our relationships that we have with other people. And then also, like you said as well, Chaz, just like listening to our bodies. Like it does take sometimes like that little reminder, that little kick of like, okay, you haven't been eating as healthy as you should be, and now I'm feeling like crap.
Yeah, a couple too many summer barbecues, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And it takes sometimes that reminder of like, okay, I'm not feeling good. And then listening to our bodies when they're telling us that, like, okay, what changes can I make? Maybe I need to go get an IV today, or I've been working too hard. Like, I need to take a breather and relax.
Yeah, give yourself some space.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, tell everyone what is the best way to find y'all online, and I will also include everything in the show notes as well.
Yeah, you can visit us online at onusiv.com. If you are, if you're on social media, we're on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and LinkedIn. And
I'm joking.
You're okay. You're totally fine.
And if you would like to try any of our products, we can ship them to you from our website, which is shoponusiv.com, and we sell electrolytes and supplements. Yeah,
Awesome.
Stop by, see if there's something that can help make your day a little bit better.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. And yes, we will talk soon.
Of course.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you for having us.